Welcome back to Cactus Core Play Zero Escape 999. My name is Kevandre.
My name is Bobby.
Last time we went through the number 6 door. We put a bunch of coal into a furnace, and then we did a stupid puzzle where we saw a gun, and we left the gun behind.
Yes, which was by far the wrong decision.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
And then now we've finished both of those escape rooms, and now we're on our way.
Yes, sounds like a good time. There's also a cat.
Yes, Foggy is here.
Yeah, sitting on Kevandre's dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we got? Anyways, a long hallway, huh?
Let's check it out. Excuse me, am I not petting you enough? We've seen this elevator before.
We got off the... man, what the fuck weird is... sounds weird in my voice right there. That felt super weird, where it kind of like got caught in the upper register and then it wouldn't kick back down a bit. Okay. We got off the one on the left just a little while ago. Then we went through the number 6 door, and that took us to the engine room.
Yes, and after that we passed through the cargo room. A good recap.
And now we're back here.
In other words, we made a loop. We're back where we started.
But on the other side of the fucking gate. That's kind of count for something, right?
We needed a card to get to this point.
I don't see a card reader here.
Perhaps we aren't able to activate it from this location.
Why don't you just try pushing the button?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, it works. I'm so genius.
It works? Nani? Whoa.
I think so. Good. Now we can go back and... Now we can go back if we need to.
What do we do? Should we return to C deck? No, this hallway keeps going. Even if we do end up going back, I think we should see what's down there first.
I agree. Going down in an earlier round. Let's go.
Sugar, we're going down, swinging?
Looks like it ends here.
Only one door.
There isn't anything else. It's the only way to go.
Alright, let's open it.
Don't bite.
The 9 door.
Motherfucker.
Of course it wouldn't be that easy. Vacant, huh? We finally found it.
Jumpy!
Huh?
Look! Behind you!
What? A 9 door? There's another one? Why? It's 9 no matter how you look at it. The red is there too, so this is a real one? Why? Why the hell are there 2 doors?
There were always 2 doors. I mean, if you think about it. Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
Yeah, but the game's title is 9 doors.
Yeah, 9 doors.
Yeah. Some people. Oh. It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Bitch, that's my voice.
Yes.
Anyways, of course, we just assumed that there was only one. After all, why would there be more than one?
Oh, man. Jeez.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
We fell for it. There are 2 doors. That means that all 9 people who had met at the central staircase could escape. No one would be left behind. Now it makes sense why the bracelets are numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Divided into teams of 4 and 5 people, the digital root of both teams ends up being 9. Take 1, 2, 7, 8, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, for example. The digital root for both teams would be 9. Or 2, 3, 4, 9, and 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. The digital root would still be 9. There are a bunch of combinations that work, and they all end up the same way. If one team has digital root of 9, so would the other one. What does that mean? The answer's simple. From the very beginning, the nonary game was designed to save all 9 people. That's how it was meant to be. Zero didn't lie. He never said there'd be only one 9 door. But anyone who'd found themselves in the game would have assumed that would be the case. Fights would have broken out. One team would likely betray or deceive the other. No, that's the next game. Someone might be hurt. Someone might be killed. But eventually they'd reach this very same room and realize how pointless all their infighting was. There were 2 doors. There was no need to kill each other. This game was designed for that purpose. This nonary game, we were all arguing and fighting over doors at the beginning. But if there'd been one slip-up, one tiny mistake that led to more, everything could have been so much worse now.
Oh, you mean like that first asshole who blew himself up?
Yeah.
So, what are we gonna do, Junpei?
Eh? Oh, right.
Hey, keep it together, man.
Sorry.
Jeez. So what do we do?
What do you...
We need to think about our next step.
Ellipsis?
Our numbers are 1, 3, 5, 6. That's a digital root of 6. The 4 of us can't open the number 9 door.
The 4... Wait, don't tell me.
Yep. There's one combination that'll let 3 of us open the 9 door. That's why I'm asking, what now?
What now? No, we gotta go back.
Yep.
I agree. We cannot leave June behind.
Are you sure? I don't mind staying. It's okay. There's no way we'd leave you behind.
Besides, I'd rather drown at the bottom of the ocean than escape with this sausage fest.
That's a fair point.
Maybe I'll get to go to Atlanta.
What?
Are you sure you don't mean Atlantis? Oh, right. I watched too much Futurama.
It's the same thing. You guys.
Very well. Best we head back to C-Deck then. We should be able to take the elevator we passed earlier. Perhaps Clover, Seven, and Lotus will have returned from door 1.
But even with all 7 of us...
Standing around here isn't going to accomplish anything, don't you agree? Let's find the other 3 first and then search for another solution.
I guess you're right.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Kitty, 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 kitty.
Come to think of it. What is this room? We were so focused on the doors we didn't even look around.
Is it a chapel of some kind?
How lucky we are to be alive right now. It looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony. But what kind? A coffin? What on earth is a coffin doing in a place like this?
Hey,
I'm a coffin
Junpei.
queen.
Oh yeah? Coffin queen?
Yeah, she's in there.
The hell are you doing? Let's move.
Right, okay, I'll be right there.
Okay. We get it. There's somebody in the coffin.
Coffin. It's gonna evolve into wheezing.
And that's gonna evolve into, Sir Wheezing?
Yes. Sir Wheezing.
Yeah.
Look, it's...
7 and Lotus.
We've got problem. Clover's gone. What? What do you mean, gone?
When? Why?
You two went into door 1 with Clover, didn't you? Yeah, we went through the door together. But Clover barely spoke to us. She just did her own thing the whole time. There were 4 rooms on the other side of door 1. She wouldn't let us into the 4th room. She just said, I'll take care of this one, and shut the door. She must have blocked it with something on the other side. We waited for a while, but Clover didn't come out. We called for her, but she didn't answer. So I kicked down the door and we went to the room, but it was empty. Clover wasn't there. There was a door on the other side of the wall, and it was open. We figured she opened the door and left by herself. We ran after her, of course, but... Well, obviously we didn't find her. You figured that much out. Clover's gone. When did this happen? We got here just before you. You certainly have excellent timing.
So, you haven't searched anywhere other than near the staircase?
No, we haven't. Very well then. We'd best separate and look for Clover. We haven't much time left. Let's begin.
I'm somewhat fortunate. You know, 2 of my voices have just kind of like fucked off to the void. So, this is pretty easy for me.
Yeah. She's not here.
No, she isn't.
There's no sign of her. Let's go.
Kevandre goes her own way.
Alright, I'm thinking we should probably split up. I'll head back to the stairs and take the elevator down to E deck. June, you can take the stairs up to B deck.
Alright, that sounds good. But,
What?
could you stop calling me by that codename when we're alone?
Uh-huh. Oh, sure, right. I'll, do that. Connie. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jumpy?
Oh, no, it's nothing.
Alright, I'm going then.
Yeah, be careful, Connie.
You be careful too, Jumpy.
Yeah, got it. Take care. Tragedy always strikes when one least expects it. Oh, sorry, I was doing snake voice for this, huh?
Were you?
Tragedy always strikes when one least expects it. But to wait for a man to stand before striking him down seems almost crueler than dealing the fatal blow while he lies on the ground. A light in the dark place, June's smile had given him hope, both for escape and possibly for something else. It was that hope that raised his spirits just enough that they may soon be fully dashed.
Yeah, that's alright.
He opened the elevator door, and there she was. A woman sat, slouched against the wall. Lotus. Junpei felt his blood turn to ice. Her body was limp, and her skin smooth and pale as always. It was covered in bright red blood. Junpei felt his chest constrict. He couldn't breathe, and his legs began to shake. A slow, cold drop of sweat trickled down his back. He felt his stomach somersault.
It's been half a second. This bitch already dead.
Junpei's mind went blank, all his thoughts replaced with endless hissing white. Driven by little more than instinct, he began to walk towards Lotus, slowly. Each slow movement of his stiff limbs brought him closer to her corpse. Finally, he stood next to her. Robotically, he bent down and put his hand against her neck. There was no pulse, no rise and fall of breathing. She was slightly warm. Something, somewhere in Junpei's shaken mind, told him that meant she had been killed recently. I mean, we just saw her.
Yeah, no shit.
Yes, Junpei thought, his mind slowly returning. She had been killed. Someone had killed her.
That's how people get killed.
There was a deep cut on the left side of her chest. Blood still oozed from it, although clearly her heart had stopped beating some time ago. The weapon had been a knife, then? Perhaps she had been stabbed in the heart, once. She would have died immediately.
No.
He took little comfort from knowing she must have suffered very little.
If you get stabbed in the heart, you suffer like a motherfucker. It is unpleasant.
Only then did Junpei notice. Lotus's bracelet was gone.
Alright, so back to zero. So,
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from the ship. 2. Your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or detects that its wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
ah, fuck, smacked the microphone, sorry.
Was that why the killer had ended Lotus's life? So that they might have the number 8 bracelet? If that was true, then the killer was whoever wanted the number 8 bracelet. Or perhaps more accurately, the person who would gain the most by obtaining bracelet number 8. Who was that? Who would benefit the most from the number 8 bracelet? The thought had only just entered Junpei's mind when he heard a noise. A sound like a sharp knife cutting through wet meat. It struck him as strange that the noise came from inside his own body. A moment later, the pain hit him. It wasn't merely pain. There was heat, extreme heat, as well. He felt as though molten iron had been splashed against the side of his body. Finally, his brain made the connection. He had been stabbed. But where? His body was quickly going numb. He couldn't tell where the knife had met his flesh. Given the circumstances, however, he had most likely been stabbed in the back. Whoever had killed Lotus had now done the same to Junpei as well. Ugh! His voice was little more than a weak groan. With what little strength he had left, Junpei turned his body, trying to catch a glimpse of his attacker. But as he did, the knife dug itself in deeper, twisting viciously. He collapsed to the floor, a puppet with its strings cut. His arms and legs lay where they fell, oddly twisted and awkwardly positioned. Junpei's body was entirely numb. He could feel the blood leaking out of him, but nothing would move. Nothing, save his eyes. As he lay on the floor, his life ebbing away, Junpei finally saw his attacker. 2 tiny images of the killer reflected in his eyes. With that recognition came nothing. He felt no emotions, no anger, no sadness, no regret. The paralysis that had claimed his body had reached his mind. His killer glanced down at his body. Then, without a word, climbed into the elevator and was gone. His eyesight began to fade, the world grew blurry, and began to dissolve into an empty white fog. The fog crept into the edges of his mind and worked inexorably inward. Soon it swallowed up the last that remained of Junpei's mind, and his consciousness left him. There was nothing more. Into utter emptiness he fell, into zero. Whatever Junpei had been was gone.
So, game over?
Yes, so we have reached one of the endings.
That's a bad ending?
Yes.
Fuck you, game. Rude.
So yeah, this game has a bunch of different endings. It's a visual novel, of course it does. Not as many as VLR does, but...
Oh, we got the cut and run trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Get it? It's a joke.
Nah.
Oh yes. So you have reached one ending. This game has multiple endings. In order to experience all the endings, you need to play through the game multiple times. Make sure to save your progress now to retain all the information that you've required. Memory of Escape has been added to the title screen. Memory of Escape enables you to replay the escape rooms you've completed.
Well, alright then. Well, that's good for an episode.
It's a little short, but that's probably right. We should probably just start again next time.
I mean, sure. Oh, what's all this?
But now, we have a reason to actually look at this flowchart.
Okay.
So, there's a bunch of different ways that everything can go, right? Generally based on which doors you pick. But also, what you do inside those doors matters. So sometimes going one way is the only way to get a good ending in a particular path. So for example, this way, when we went through the number 6 door, we were always going to get this bad ending because we didn't go through the right door earlier.
Oh, okay.
So they talk about certain things in each door, which makes it so that you can do different things later on in the game, right?
Oh, okay.
So we've got a different path that if we had taken a different path to get here in the first place, we would have gone a different way.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty fun. I kind of dig that, especially now that there's a fucking flowchart. The DS version of the game does not have the flowchart, so you always had to start at the very top.
Fuck that.
But I can basically pick any time in here to jump in.
Okay.
So that's good. So I don't have to start all over from the beginning. I can just be like, oh, hey, I just need to make a different choice in this escape room, right?
Gotcha.
And then just redo it from there. And you can skip through dialogue until you see something that you haven't seen before.
Which is pretty nice.
Which is also good. So what do you think? Should we start over from the very beginning next time? Or should we start over from a slightly earlier point, make a different door choice, perhaps? Rather than going through the 6th door, we go through 1 or 2?
Yeah, let's see that. So that way, it's pretty close to the end. We can still be latched onto it. Maybe it'll show us like the other good ending of that path. Maybe we actually explore the damn coffin that was in that room. That would be great. That's all I wanted. I think that would have been a good ending.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. So we're going to pick either the number 1 or the number 2 doors next time.
Yep.
And that should be fun. So, okay, but that's it for this time. It's a little short, but I think this is a good ending place more than anything else.
Yes.
So, let's do some shoutouts.
All right.
So I want to do a shout out to a guy named Larry Lawton, who's a YouTuber, but he's a former jewel robber. Not jewel thief, because he was a robber. He would put the gun in your face and say, "Give me the jewels."
Yes.
Right?
Important difference.
I had watched his some of his previous videos before, like in talking about mistakes being made in the GTA 5 heist in the thing, which is pretty interesting. But more recently, I saw him on the Vanity Fair YouTube channel talking about movie heists that he's like, no, you wouldn't do this. You would want to do this instead. That's going to get you caught. You don't want this many people present at this place. There's going to be a rat somewhere in there. It's pretty interesting stuff. And it's really cool to think about. But he's a former robber. So he works with the cops now after being in jail for like 15 years. So yeah, it's pretty good shit.
Nice. My shout out is going to go towards a YouTube channel that I've recently discovered in my just search for shit about Japan, because it's been a while since I've looked that up. And one of them that has gained a lot of popularity and I really like is a channel called Abroad in Japan. And it's about a British person, Chris Broad, who got moved to Japan as part of the teaching program where they would import in native English speakers to teach at Japanese schools, even if they didn't know Japanese at the time. Somehow he got chosen, and he's been in Japan ever since, like 5-6 years now, something like that. It's been a while. And so he tells stories about like his time as teaching, and then he eventually stopped teaching because he was focusing on YouTube, and that got enough to make him have an apartment, so focus on that. And he's done stuff like, hey, I'm going to go explore this area, or I'm going to go meet up with this other Japanese YouTuber, and we're going to talk about stuff. And he recently did, I say recently, I think it was still like a year ago, but he biked around Japan for like a month or two. Just, hey, we're going to go visit this place, and he did it all by bike, because in Japan, the main mode of travel is bicycle, which is really cool, and you got to see a whole bunch of interesting places, and got to see a whole bunch of like the culture that people were talking about. Like there's this one town that's just focused on garlic, and that looks amazing. They have a garlic soda. I want to try it.
I don't want to try that.
I gotta try it. So yeah, it's an interesting side of Japan that he likes to explore, and sides that I've never seen. Like he went out and he found a fish market that served fugu. So,
yeah.
Right, he got to try the whole fugu experience, which is something I've never done, and that's pretty awesome. So
Got to try the ugu.
Yeah,
the uwu experience.
Yeah, the fugu ugu. Yeah. So it's pretty nice. I really like it.
But yeah, all right, guys. We'll go through the 1 or 2 doors next time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.